episode 34.
34.
Oh.
Shout out to all the good folks out there.
Alrighty. Are we on Chop Block Pod? Are you still on yours? Oh, no, wait, you couldn't be on yours because I ended it. There we are. Hey.
What's going on, peoples?
Oh, I'm all in my eye. Like I don't see this thing telling me that we're live. Hello, friends. Or as Big Baby Jesus would call y'all, my niggas and my niggerettes. Take this back to the moonshine.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Those were not the actual words. Hi. My phone won't let me see the IG live thing. What's going on?
You look a little different today.
Yeah, I took my glasses off because I always get like one pair of like eccentric glasses and one pair of regular glasses. My regular pair of glasses was sent out by the Postal Service, which has clearly reverted to using actual horses and wagons to deliver mail. So
wow,
yeah,
Pony
my shit
Express.
left Michigan on August 14th. It's August 27th.
I'm waiting on the package from the other side of town, and it's still not here.
At this point, I said that I was going to wear my contacts for a week straight just so that my eyes can get used to like having to focus with some shit sitting on my eyeball. Because I don't think that my eyes are used to it again yet. And then at the end of next week, if I still don't have it, because I'm trying to be responsible, right? So I'm trying not to spend the extra money to buy another pair when I know I have a pair on the way and a pair that's already here in contacts. They're only $50 and they're so cute. Actually $40 because I have a $10 discount. They're so
That's
cute.
a nice price.
Yeah. All right, guys, this is episode 34 of the Chop Block Podcast, the Chopping Block Podcast, brought to you by us, by Sis and by me. Hey, guys. And by Anatomy, our amazing, wonderful producer who makes us seem like professional, coherent people who know what
Hey,
yo,
Mikey.
Yo, Mikey.
Hey.
We'll talk to you guys next week about why the Chopping Block Podcast is being brought to you by us. We have our PR team working on a statement. Me. I'm the PR team.
She's the PR team.
Welcome. This is the Chopping Block Podcast. This is a wonderful space that we hold to discuss music and music creator things that happen throughout the week.
Yep, it's been a lot.
I'm your favorite Haitian, I think. Nah, fuck that. I'm your favorite Haitian. Don't even fucking front. And they call me Saint Boogie in the hood, and by the hood we do mean social media.
And I'm your favorite, not all the way Jamaican.
Not all the way Jamaican. He's our favorite young bull. That's really who he is.
Yes, sir. You already know.
President 2-5, president
of the state prop chain gang.
President of the state property fan club. And I'm forever fixing my hair. All right, guys, look. 2 quick things. Well, 1 quick thing and 1 maybe a little bit more lengthy thing. The quick thing is, did somebody just send me some money? Oh, no.
Uh-oh. I heard that.
That's not what it was.
Ching, ching.
That was Cash App telling me that they'll give me a boost if I go to McDonald's. Like, I feel insulted. Okay. Real quick, let me explain to y'all the name of episode 34. Episode 34 is called Magic City is Black Love.
You damn right it is.
Because I just don't even understand why anybody would insinuate that those two things stand in opposition to each other. Like, we have to boycott Magic City in honor of Black love. First of all, Magic City is a Black-owned business, goddamn. I'm not finna boycott no Black-owned business where none of the customers ain't complaining, none of the employees ain't complaining. They got merch, they got amazing wings, They got some happy shoe models.
They also got temperature checks, and folks is in there wearing masks.
They're being safe. They're providing a service.
So,
Y'all was still trying to figure out what the hell to do, and outside was still closed. They brought you virtual strippers. Also, to quote the great orator Tawheed Epps, yeah, I love them strippers.
listen, there's few things that I've done during this quarantine. But one of the things that I did do, I did go to Magic City. Okay.
You know,
And,
last
and
summer, um, thank you, V. You're my favorite person from South Carolina. Don't tell them other two niggas who think they are though, because they're gonna get their feelings hurt because it's really you. So last summer I was in New York, and the memory popped up on my timeline yesterday or the day before that I had been in a strip club, and I was like, wouldn't it would be me to wait to go after 8 years of not going to the strip club, to go to the strip club in Queens, to leave Atlanta and go to a strip club in Queens. And I did not understand the great service that Magic City provides. And so I got the Queens, and these bras was dancing in like a bathing suit, and I could not understand. Like, I didn't see not near nipple. I barely saw a butt cheek, and I could not understand it. And then it was like the most lackluster twerking I have ever seen. Like, I've seen more ass shake at damn L Bar on a Saturday than I did in this real life actual strip club. So, without acknowledging the fool who said it, we just wanted to shout out Magic City today and say that Magic City is Black love.
But let me just say, the black woman who loves me sent me to Magic City.
Yeah, what's up?
So and we might go to Magic City together. Don't shit on our establishments here in the great black city of Atlanta, where black folks go and enjoy themselves in all different ways, shape, forms, and fashions. Because you don't get it. I mean, shout to the Lou Will lemon pepper wings. That man went to pick up wings with his name on it because they got his name on it. Leave Magic City alone, bro. That's a battle that you don't want to fight. Trust me.
I just really don't understand where it came from, but I'm not gonna delve too deep into what that man says. Because that man just said a lot of wild shit.
I don't even know what's going on with that dude. He just became problematic out the blue.
So we kicked off the week with the state of Wisconsin back in the news for the second time in as many months because of a police officer. Well, the first time he killed a man. This time the man is not dead, but it's not for lack of the police trying, because when you hold somebody's shirt and pop off 7 times in their back outside of a fucking car with 3 children in the back seat, you're trying to kill that nigga.
Within 3 minutes.
Within 3 minutes of arriving on the scene.
Within where he was 3 minutes.
Then we woke up yesterday and some random white thug, with the assistance of his unfit mother, traveled from Wyoming.
Really? With the assistance of his mother.
Oh yeah, his mama drove him. Wow. This 17-year-old man, because if it was a black child, they would call him a man at 17. This 17-year-old man was driven by his mother from Wyoming to Wisconsin with an illegal firearm for the purpose of, quote unquote, defending businesses from looters. Mind you, them motherfuckers don't own shit. Okay, they don't own not near block in Madison, Wisconsin. But they're this unfit, probably single mother, possibly, clearly there's no father in the home. She's probably on drugs. Drove this miscreant, this little thug, across state lines with an illegal weapon, and then left him there, like dropped him off like he was going to fucking day camp. And he proceeded to shoot 3 people at point blank range, killing 2. Third person has had their arm amputated, if I'm not mistaken. And so, yeah, yesterday, the Milwaukee Bucks first were like, we're not playing shit. We're tired. This is stupid. This doesn't make any sense. One of the players from the Bucks reiterated what Kyrie Irving had said, which is that, we probably don't need to be playing basketball this summer because, Like, y'all don't understand, there's some for real shit going on. So the Bucks decided to boycott Game 5 of their playoff series against the Magic. Look at me knowing sports.
Okay.
And
you better know about Orlando.
Huh?
You better know about Orlando.
Right. That used to be my team. Gang gang. And then yesterday, the Lakers and the Clippers said, yeah, we good. We good on all this shit. We're not playing another game. Season's over for us. Then Udonis Haslem was like, hey guys, like, what are we really doing here if we're not gonna have the Lakers and the Clippers? So as of the time we went to bed last night, it sounded as if the whole rest of the season was in jeopardy of being canceled. But at the very least, that the Lakers were like, fuck the shit. And the Clippers were like, fuck the shit. And LeBron actually got on Twitter and cursed and said, fuck this shit. Less than 24 hours later, everything is back on.
Well, everything's not back on, but the NBA is back on.
Well, yeah, I mean, everything's back on with the NBA is what I meant.
Right.
And also, Naomi Osaka, Haitian Japanese tennis champion Naomi Osaka, issued a statement yesterday that pretty much was like, and she wrote it in English and in Japanese and said, hey guys, I know you wanted to see me watch this semifinal match. I mean, play the semifinal match, but I'm a Black woman, and as a Black woman, fuck this tennis shit. I ain't picking up their racket on Thursday. I don't know what y'all gonna do. Her match has been rescheduled. And explain to me what the NBA decided that they're gonna do.
So they decided that they're gonna finish the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, that was what the union decided they were gonna finish today.
Including the Lakers and the Clippers.
Yeah. Yep.
I ain't gonna hold you, man. I'm a little disappointed.
Okay, let's talk about it.
I am very proud of the players for making the decision that they did. I'm very proud of the people who stood in support of them, like Kenny Smith and Chris Webber. And I understand that the point was to spark a conversation, and that, you know, basketball players boycotting a basketball match wasn't necessarily going to be the solution that we need to whatever the fuck is going on in the state of Wisconsin and everywhere else in this country, where we clearly have a police problem. Might have something to do with the fact that you're training police officers for 6 months and then handing them a gun and putting them out on the street. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. And then kind of making it understood that they get to move around with impunity. But I don't know that we had a chance to have the conversation that they were trying to spark.
So I'm with you on that. But the one thing that I would say is when they decided to play in the bubble in the first place, this was after George Floyd. And one of the reasons why they did it was to bring attention to these things. So that means them being in the spotlight, them using basketball as a tool to bring light to injustice. Okay. Versus them just not being there at all. They made that decision. So the decision to walk off yesterday, to be tired, was a good decision. I also think that the decision to resume is not a bad decision. And the reason why is because it's still about the initial mission of why they decided to play. And that is to show people that there's a problem. And people, it sparked these huge debates. We're sitting here watching Alex Caruso with a Black Lives Matter on the back of his jersey driving to the paint. And that's powerful. It's a powerful message. Whatever they're going to do before the game, like, this is their platform. If they're not at their platform, then they're not spreading the message. It's just us and them being upset about it. And that doesn't help either. So I'm not mad at them deciding to go back out there. Because like I said, you know, Kyrie, he felt how he felt and decided not to. First of all, Kyrie wasn't showing up anyway. Because Kyrie don't show up because he always hurt and he was injured. And, you know, like I said, the players decided this is what we're going to do and this is why. And I'm pretty sure after some conversation, they're still on board. They've been showing out this whole time. Every meeting afterwards, you know, when after the game, hey, yo, what's going on with the game? Look, grounded teller killers need to be, you know, locked up. Like they're in lockstep. Nobody's delineating except for that one dude from the Magic who said Jesus told him to stand up, and then he hurt
and then
hurt.
he hurt himself. Well, I mean, I guess what I don't know. I think maybe it's just a timeline. I think like I would have really, I don't know. Like there's no way nobody has a damn book to this. Like this shit doesn't make any sense.
It could happen again. It could happen again in 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
I will say this to Black people and to allies. Like it seems impossible to us that people don't know how bad shit is in this country because we're in it. But there are really people who do not know. And I think it's really, really important to have conversations with people who do not know. Like, and I say this because after Sunday's episode of Lovecraft Country, there were like 3 or 4 different sites, and it might be the same article because you know how a lot of these sites are like part of a network or whatever. So it might have just been the same article that ran on 3 or 4 different sites. But regardless, 3 or 4 different sites ran an article that was like, the sundown towns from Lovecraft Country were a real thing. And all Black people are sitting there like, were? Nigga, like what, yesterday?
Oh, it's
like
sundown towns right now. Well,
they tried to have 30
that,
minutes north of here.
So they tried to have a when they were telling other people in Texas, I guess outside of Houston, like, oh, we're going to have a protest in this town, and everybody I know was like, you better not take your ass over there. And we knew what that meant. We knew exactly what that meant.
We knew exactly what that means. I have a girlfriend who is white, whose partner is Black. She has 3 children who are mixed boys. Three, you know, for all intent and purposes, if you didn't know their mama, you would see them and assume they were 3 little Black boys, or at least 3 little boys of color. When she plans trips and when they plan family outings, and you know, she loves to take the kids around and go see, because Georgia, you know, it's really difficult. One of the difficult things about Georgia is that there's a lot of beauty in the state. Like there's a lot of great things you can go do outdoors. A lot of those things are tied to the Confederacy, right? So it's like, fuck, like, are we just not going to go to any park? Because every park is a fucking Civil War battleground. But when she plans family outings, she plans them in recognition of the fact that her and her Black partner and her mixed babies got to make sure that they're not outside of the Atlanta metro when the sun goes down. Like that's a real life actual thing. But
that's absolutely crazy.
4 mainstream outlets felt the need to confirm to white people that that was a real thing that used to happen. Like, so, all that to say, guys, like I don't have no fucking answers other than to say vote. And when I say vote, I don't just mean for the president, although y'all do need to get that motherfucker out the paint.
No, I don't listen. It's becoming so painfully obvious. Like I get everybody's got little issues here and there, but dog, we have to make that change right now.
Right now.
We should have known that, because if you just go look at the statistically speaking, the moment that motherfucker got in office, everything went to shit. And I'm talking about racially. I'm talking about hate crimes. I'm talking about all that stuff went through the roof. So we all know. I just shared a picture of my first time going to Nashville in the airport, and they had monkeys hanging from some display in the airport in prison stripes with I love Nashville, right? This is the South. These things have always been there, like literally. But now, basically, Trump said, "Oh, y'all can come on out now," and that was the plan. That was always Steve Bannon's plan.
That's it.
That his own, a lady from his own administration said that. I guess whoever it was, she was one of the secretaries of Homeland Security. She said, you know, Trump basically gave a dog whistle to white supremacy to say, y'all good, come on out now.
That's it.
And we saw it. We saw all kinds of racist acts, overt. People you know, pulling up on us in traffic, you know, jumping out the car, yelling at people, Black people, Asian people, all this type of stuff. This whole China narrative, like, dog, this is all overt racism directly tied to Donald J. Trump and the white supremacists who put him in the White House.
Right.
Let's be clear. This man's entire campaign was run by white supremacists. Steve Bannon is a white supremacist. He comes from that 4chan Stormfront world.
let's take it a step further. That motherfucker has turned this country into such a shit show that one of the heads of the alt-right movement said, "Hey guys, I'm voting for Biden."
No, Richard Spencer said,
"We'll talk about this." He said, "Look, let's just put a pin in this alt-right shit. Now's not our time, y'all. Now." Like he hit him with that meme, that gif of Blue Ivy telling her parents to stop clapping. Like, hey, no. Let's just get this shit done.
When Richard Spencer, the dude who got punched in his face for being a Nazi, decides that he's voting for Biden,
I'm voting for Biden. Guys, don't let Herschel Walker fool you, please.
Did he ever?
Also, now is a really good time. We're about 60 days out, just about roughly a little bit more than 60 days out from the election. Now is a really good time to familiarize yourself with what is going on with your local ballot.
Yes.
Now's a really good time to find out why y'all are worried about Kamala's record as DA. Just find out who is your DA in your town and make sure.
We just got rid of ours. Huh? We just got rid of ours.
Because he wasn't doing it. Some people are saying that the new one is not necessarily any better. But here's the thing. Once that motherfucker gets in office, your job is not done. They still work for you. If you hired a nanny, if you hired anything, if you hired somebody to do any job, you wouldn't just be like, all right, you got the job, peace out. No, that's why they give you a 90-day trial period. That's why they give you reviews, performance reviews. That's why every job you've ever had, if you've ever had a job, has some kind of disciplinary action steps that are outlined for you ahead of time. They tell you when you get there, hey, my nigga, if you're late 4 times, this is going to happen. If you're late 6 times, this is going to happen. You can't wear this. You can't say that, whatever. Once you vote these people into office, you guys, we have, if we don't take anything away from the last 4 years, it is to understand that we can't just be civically minded during election years or around election time. Like, we got to be on this shit 24/7, 365.
And when we grew up, I grew up in a neighborhood that took care of ourselves. We wasn't waiting for the cops and the police to come, deal with the mess in our neighborhoods. We had our own community organizations. We had neighborhood groups. We talked amongst each other. We knew our state rep. He was down the block. We went down there and said, listen, this ain't what it is. Whether it was taxes or a pothole or a traffic light, whatever it was that was going on. And we got to continue to do that. We have to be, this is on us. The
None
United
of those
States
things have changed.
It's on us. It's run by people. And when we opt out of our power, that's when other people come take power. Exactly.
All right, guys. I'm going to shut up now because somebody told me that I can't vote in this country and I shouldn't be talking about y'all's election.
What?
Fuck that motherfucker. Anyway. Okay. Where should we go first? Should we go to Nas first or should we go to Versus first?
Let's go to Nas.
I'm so excited about this Nas album.
Let's go to Nas.
Okay. So Nas released King's Disease.
Yep.
On Friday. There's a song on there called The Definition, featuring the world famous Brucey B. Shouts to the world famous Brucey B.
Hey.
And I still don't know that I necessarily understand what the King's Disease is. I think it's gout. But basically, the way that Nas broke it down, he said that it is, you don't have to be rich. It's rich man's disease, also is what it's called.
Right.
Which basically, it's the effects that excess will have on your life.
Right. It's overindulgence, basically.
Overdoing it. Overindulgence. So, the project is out. I've listened to it 4 times. It is gout, by the way. Historically, gout has been called the disease of kings due to its association with rich foods and alcohol consumption, according to the Johns Hopkins Arthritis Center. So to recap, Ty learned about... wait, we can't hear you, sis. Are you talking to us?
No, the kids is...
Are you talking to the guests in your lovely penthouse in Manhattan back there? So I found out what iodine poisoning was because of Pimp C, and now I know what another name for gout because of Nas. And they say hip hop don't teach.
Education.
I've listened to it 3 times. How many times have you played it?
About, I think 2 times through.
Okay. There's a lot of really strong records on this.
Yes, there are.
there's also a couple where Nasir could have just kept his bars, and we could have just had an instrumental for that moment. Just a
I mean,
couple, just maybe.
so, so overall, I've heard there's always going to be people who criticize Nas's production choices. I think
Right.
it's just baked into some people,
Yes. Yes.
because they
100%.
because they just want a certain Nas. They get DJ Premier or Hit Boy did his fucking thing on this album. Hit Boy did his thing. Um, shout to Hit Boy. Shout to Roger Chaihead, shout to Audio Anthem, shout to everybody. But Hit Boy was the main producer, co-executive producer on this project. The sound is it's refreshing. It's still very
Yes.
much in pocket.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that Nas sounds good on,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a big thing. So
A lot of really, really good moments on the project. I particularly, the three that stand out to me are the three with the R&B features. Even though I really want to have a conversation with somebody who knows Charlie Wilson just to know what
Uncle
these
Charlie.
requests. Because listen, niggas be asking Uncle Charlie to come through and do the absolute bare minimum, and I just want to know what these conversations be like. Like, hey, Unc, come through and just
just saying Car 85.
just do runs real quick.
Right. And he'd be like, bet.
That's it.
I got you, nephew. I got you.
Got you. Because he's on somebody else's album where I know that he was credited on one song, but he was actually there too. On what's his name? Aminé's album. Mm-hmm. He's on Aminé's album. He's on Nas's album. Like, he just pulls up. Like, it's almost like he'll call these niggas and be like, hey, nephew, what you doing? Shit, in the stew. I'm about to pull up.
This reminds me, and hip hop enthusiasts will get this. This reminds me of when Ice Cube came to the East Coast and did an album with the Bomb Squad.
Okay.
This is Nas on the West Coast, but this is Nas on West Coast hip hop. This is real hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You see features from people like Anderson .Paak. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, you see Nas. This is like LA Nas. You know what I'm saying? This is like the Queens dude, like out in LA. And we've also seen him in the studio with Dre and all those guys or whatever, because they're talking about doing a Firm project. So that's the word on the street too.
Let's talk about that right quick.
Okay, Foxy Brown. Let me just say, my Virgo sister, who was born on the same day as me,
I didn't know that,
came through and absolutely slaughtered that verse. Like, absolutely, so much to the point where I think I want to hear a Foxy Brown album.
I think I had too high of an expectation of that song. And let's go back real quick, right? My name is Ty because Inga Marchand dropped an album called China White. And if Inga was going to have a damn drunk nickname, so the fuck was I. And so when she was China White, I was Chocolate Ty, and that's the fuck it was. And we've heard this story before. If you know me, you've heard this story before. But that is how much of a Foxy Brown fan I am. Okay. Also, like, I might be one of the only people that y'all know. Well, maybe not one of the only, but I am a person who still like whips out that Firm album every so often and runs it. It's happened. Well, maybe not this decade because it's 2020, but it's happened this century. It's happened in the past five years or so. I mean, probably in the past 2 years. So I think I need to go back and listen to it again, because what happens is I think that song with the rest of the project is one of those points where you can kind of lose focus on it. Like, if you have it in the background, that song is not one that jumps and gets you necessarily.
So for me on that one, Nas came the lightest on that track.
Okay, I can see that. Who was first?
I believe AZ was first. I think it was AZ, Cormega. Now, mind you, Cormega is an original Firm member. A lot of y'all might know the Firm with Nature. Nature don't fuck with Nas. Nas don't fuck with Nature. Cormega didn't fuck with Nas for a while, but they fixed that up. So I would
Right.
like to see like a New Edition style firm with all of the members. But
aren't they still beefing with Nature?
I don't know. I mean, Nas is not came out 10 years ago.
Okay, so they might be okay now.
But I mean, and Nas is beefed with a lot of people when they made up. I would just like to hear that if we're gonna do a firm project. But just to bring it back to King's Disease, I thought that was a good moment for hip hop to hear Foxy again because we haven't heard from her in so long.
Yes.
She's been through some shit, had some things with her hearing and all kind of stuff going on, but she was sliding on that joint. Car 85 was an interesting moment for me. I'm glad to see Lil Durk out here getting his coins.
Yes.
Popping up on all types of joints. He's been a solid MC, holding Chicago down for a long time. I think overall,
the Don Toliver feature almost made me not hate LMA anymore. Made me realize that, like, all of a sudden, now that we're not hearing that song every 10 minutes, that it was actually a good song.
Yeah. And I actually like Spicy.
I love Spicy. Let me tell you what fucked up Spicy for me, though. I love Spicy so much that today's episode was going to be called Kalo K, but it was going to be spelled like a gringo. Like a gringo. It was going to be spelled Kaylowkay. Kalo K.
Well,
fucked up Spicy for me, almost fucked up Spicy for me, is that I fucked around and actually paid attention to what Fabio was saying.
Don't do that.
It's not that he wasn't rapping well. I want to say that. Like, it's not that he wasn't, he was, it was an adequately written and performed verse.
Right.
It's just what the fuck he was talking about that made me realize maybe I'm old. And also brought us back to what you were saying about Nas last week, which is that Nas always kind of positions himself as this, like almost conscious, higher level MC, but like, man, that nigga loves him some misogyny, don't he?
But here's the thing, right? My problem, my biggest problem with that, and I think a lot of us is Nas just never embraced that part of him. Like, he'd always play it off, but it's always been on full display.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And anybody who ever took a dig at him, like Hov said, is it Black Girl Lost or is it Shorty owe you for ice? And that's always been like the duality of Nas. I'm here for duality. I am too. For people, as long as it's not harmful, embracing the trash side of them a little bit. We all got a little hood in us. We all, get a little inappropriate. As long as it's not, too far. But Nas is just always like the Doja Cat line. You know what I mean? Like, even to go back to that, like, I don't think people really had a problem with it. We got it was a bar and it was funny, but it's just like, it makes you think of all the trash shit that Nas has done to women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or allegedly or whatever, however that works,
Yeah.
But it just kind of takes you back to there. So, I mean,
so it's like,
part of life.
I could take, the hook on 27 Summers starting with Bitch. Like, it don't bother me at all. Like, I really enjoyed that song because I'm a problematic nigga, my goddamn self. But I woke up this morning with my ears of a 40-year-old and really paid attention to what Fabio Foreign was saying on that song. And the whole verse is just cringy. But anyway.
Well, he's a kid.
Good job, Nas.
Still, so, Fabio's still a kid. He actually put out a song that I liked today. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Yeah, I mean, I fuck with, like, this is, again, I had no problem with Fabio's performance.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, like I said, some people, you just got to kind of go, a lot of music. Y'all, I basically grew up in Florida. A lot of music that I love. You just can't pay attention to what the fuck niggas is saying. Like, you can't hone in, like, to the bar. Because you're either going to catch somebody saying something really, really incorrectly, like peripheral, or
like Rick Ross's line about
baby making in the Maldives.
Well, no, I'm just talking about the pop, the Molly line,
Oh yeah.
She
or
didn't
like
even know it. Like,
line. Like
that
it's
would
just
be automatic cancellation these days. If that came out today, oh man.
I mean, a lot of people have canceled him. You know what I mean? A lot
Not
of people
enough.
are like,
Not enough to
y'all
really
don't
make a
like
dent.
Kamala, but y'all still listening to Rick Ross.
Who said that? What kind of? How does that work?
A cop, because he used to be a cop. Y'all call Kamala a cop, but y'all listen to the former CO. I don't know, sis. I don't even speak English for
First
real.
of all, COs
Okay?
ain't cops. If any,
English ain't even my first language.
COs is about, and this is even if you watch a movie from other countries, COs about the dirtiest people in the damn in the damn world.
Right.
COs get everything into the jail. Everybody in jail, they in there smoking and drinking and having a good time. They got cell phones. They
having
bring
whole ass
whole
relationships. They
women
having
in there.
babies.
They doing all kind of stuff. So
with the inmates.
yeah, I thought about that one, and I was like, I don't know about this whole CO was a lame thing because.
But it's just the fact that he acted like it never happened. All right, so
facts.
Y'all did all of that thumping about how Jay-Z likes to steal Nas's thunder over a fucking Pharrell song that y'all niggas didn't even like.
I liked it.
Huh?
I liked it.
I loved it. But and then when you see the video,
that's what took me over the top.
The video, like, what?
That shit's art.
What?
That is black art right there. That was excellent.
Dog, do you understand that Pharrell Williams and Sean Corey Carter, do you understand the amount of money that these two men have, the power that they yield? The power that they yield. Because y'all, Pharrell don't operate on this side of things. And so y'all be forgetting how many things Pharrell has his hands in, tech-wise, fashion-wise, film-wise, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
For them to, I don't know how long the video is, but it is a whole commercial for small Black businesses. And then let me tell you what really did it. Did you watch the credits?
Oh, yeah.
All those businesses overseas gave me goosebumps.
Look, I couldn't imagine. I already know people who went in order. I got a homie, shout out to my guy, B. Kane. He was like, oh, Doggy's Treat? Oh, yeah, I'm ordering from them.
That's what I'm doing. The dog treat place?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so, the Tropaz. Kiko about to be decked out in Tropaz.
So, I mean, but just the economic presence that they bought for those people in there, like, that's a major thing that they didn't have to do, but
they did not have to do it.
It's what they've been doing. You know what I mean? Like every time these guys step up, they just like Pharrell don't do all the talking. He does the action. He uses art as his action.
Yeah.
Hove has been doing both for as long as we can remember. Marcy Day.
Because if you paid attention, like, one of the businesses showcased, they were like, it was a bakery, and they were like, everybody told her no. Except Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all didn't know anything about him being an investor in this bakery until that video.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all want to be mad because Jay-Z raps about capitalism, yada yada. So I asked a question on Facebook. I think I asked it on Twitter too, but I got more conversation out of it on Facebook. I said, who do you think puts more energy towards Sean Corey Carter? Is it his super fans or is it his super haters?
His super haters.
Yes. And see, everybody who said super haters just said that. His haters. Maybe 3 words.
I'm a Jay-Z super fan. And I don't worry about what's going on with that man every day. I already know what type of person he is. That's why I support him. I'm a super fan of 2 people. And even I went through my Google Photos and I was just looking back, at different stuff. And I've been a super fan of LeBron James and I'm a super fan of Jay-Z. Right? But I'm a super fan of them for not only being great at what they do, but for the type of people that they've always been.
Right.
Right. Even as a young man, LeBron was always said things that let you know. Like one of my favorite quotes is, "I'm not even supposed to be here." And that's what LeBron said. Like, yo, I'm not even supposed to be in this position, dog.
Right.
Like, I'm from Akron. I'm from nothing. I came from the projects. Like, I grew up on a block where half the houses didn't even have electricity. Like, come on, dog. Like, Hove always spoke on the position that he's come from. These guys have always had this "I'm growing and I'm bringing the community with me" vibe. And they've done it in actions. Look at Rich Paul. Look at all the Hove's homies. Look at the squad. Everybody that's around him. He's brought his brothers with him. They've done nothing but pour their money into the community from every
Right.
level, kids, old people. They've attacked the system. They've done everything they can, and the only people that got an issue with them is people who hate them. That's it, literally. So it's
So
weird.
all the people who said they're haters, like I said, the answers were maybe 2 words, maybe 3 words. There are 2 whole ass essays on that thread about how the fans are clearly the ones that have to do mental gymnastics to be okay with him doing and saying the things that he does. And you got to go out of your way to still continue to support him and act like he's still a grade A rapper.
What?
Okay.
Okay, cool. I like to
That was
read
my
those.
answer.
I'm gonna read those
Okay.
because
Cool. So yeah, kudos to them. Again, another thing that I posted this week that I wanted to kind of say here is that, like I really it was highlighted to me when somebody tried to take offense to WAP saying that this wasn't the time to be making club music and this wasn't the time. Listen, I just want to say how soothing it is to my soul. Sis had to fix his glasses. But I just wanted to say how soothing it is to my soul that Black people, yes, Black artists are making songs of protest. They're making songs about their anger. And the fans are responding in kind. Look at Lil Baby, look at the Baby and Rockstar and the remix, how the remix continues to keep them on top. Um, Raheem Devon is dropping a song on Friday called Marvin Used to Say, and that song is coming Friday, August 28th is a really like a big deal because the 28th of August is the anniversary of the March on Washington. It's also the anniversary of, I believe, the Voting Rights Act. I'm actually going to pull that up so that I'm not saying this incorrectly. It's also the anniversary of the day Emmett Till was killed. It is also the anniversary of the day that Barack Obama accepted the Democratic nomination for president.
wow.
So it's also a day that is earmarked for giving to Black nonprofits and nonprofits that serve Black causes. So you guys can look up the hashtag Give828 and see that. But yeah, Raheem Devon is dropping some new music that's protest music. But I also love to see people drop songs of Black pride. We need that. We need to celebrate being unapologetically Black. Like the vibe of Ultra Black is so dope. Like just the feeling of that track to me is so
Mm-hmm.
dope. Um, the same thing with Black Entrepreneur, with Black Parade, and of course all the songs don't have to say Black in them, but it just so happened that they kind of have, and it's okay.
People got to realize
um
that we have been programmed to believe that blackness is a curse.
right.
Worldwide, globally, in every country and culture, we've been taught to believe that black is bad. So, how do you fight that? By doing the opposite. I am completely here for saying black is this, black is that. We got to understand that we have to flip the script. We got to change the
Yes.
narrative. We have to. That's all we have because that's what people live by. People live and die by the narrative. It doesn't
Yes.
matter what the truth is or what, none of that shit. It's the perception. Perception is 1,000% reality. And if a kid grows up and they think, oh, the bad guy wears black and all this bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
then that's what they're going to perpetuate in life, even if you're
Mm-hmm.
a black kid. You know what I'm saying? So you wonder why we got all these raccoons out here, because they've grown up in a world where blackness is seen as a negative, and some of them can't take it, so they go the other way. You wonder why? Oh, how black people be Republicans? How can they be this? Easily, because they've been bombarded with negative images. If you were bombarded with negative images or something, and everybody told you that you was this and you was that, why wouldn't you want to be not that thing?
Right.
So that's a very very logical line of thought for a lot of folks. So it ain't me, but yeah,
It
I
ain't
get it.
me.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
It
yo,
ain't me. It was
listen,
the Voters' Right Act, by the way, that was
listen,
voted
black things, black
into
teens,
into law on
August
August
20th.
28th, 50 years ago.
Nice.
50 years,
Okay.
guys. Women have only been allowed to vote for 100. Black folks have only been allowed to vote for 50.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is not ancient history. Anyway, yeah.
Lovecraft
So
Country is amazing, by the way.
Lovecraft Country is so good.
Oh my god.
It's so good that I kind of almost want to not watch the rest of the season and wait till all the episodes are
And
out and then
let
just
it
watch it
just.
beforehand.
I might.
But I already know that I'm gonna watch it again. Just like Umbrella Academy, I went back after I finished season 2. I went back and started over because I really, really enjoy that show. But also Lovecraft. What I really, really love about Lovecraft Country is the way that they kind of just drop in current music.
Yeah, no, that was fire. I remember when they did the Tierra Whack song.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's current music, but it's not necessarily popular music.
Right.
And I love those things that drive people to go look it up. I can't wait to see how this plays out. I want to read the book. And one of my friends actually worked on the show, and he said that a lot of the crew was reading as they were filming because
I don't read
once you start to see the story, like I said, like I want to see what the hell else is going on. Episode 2, Mini Monsters is like, bro, episode 2. Listen, if you haven't watched this show yet, I'm about to drop a spoiler. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to mute.
No. We don't do that. Come on.
Okay, all right. I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but it's just like the storyline that looks like it ended in episode 2. I'm sitting there like, wait. No.
You gotta talk in code. Huh? You got to talk in code. We don't want to mess
That's
it
what
up.
I did. That storyline. Anyway.
But please make sure y'all check it out.
Lovecraft Country yet, do that. And shouts to Michaela Cole too. Her show, I May Destroy You. The season ended on Monday. Fucking amazing from beginning to end. It was a rough watch in some parts, but it was so well done.
I'm a big fan of this season of The Chi as well.
I need somebody Showtime log in.
They handled moving away from what happened last year, and this year has been action packed. I mean, like it was something. It was some really powerful topics discussed. So yeah,
people are mad. I know about one storyline, and people are mad.
Of course, people are mad. I mean,
people are mad like it doesn't happen in real life.
It's a lot. Like it's a lot, but it's definitely it's steeped in realism. Like I love that show because it's steeped in realism. When I see it, I see Chicago. I see real people. I see places like Chicago. I see real occurrences, things that are actually happening in our communities, and that is ultra important. That we see reality on TV. And now, mind you, Lena's got a couple different things going on TV, and it's dope because none of them feel the same. You know, if you watch 20s is another great show that comes from a completely different angle, but it's also somebody's truth. You know what I mean? So that's what we need. We need variety. We need, all her shows are diverse. You know, even being from a black point of view, they still offer diversity, and it's I'm here for it. I'm here for all these amazing black and brown filmmakers and showrunners and all that stuff just showing their ass right now. So
yep. Okay, so I need you.
Oh, I got one more. So the homie from Hamilton, right? It's called Love in the Time of Rona. It's on Hulu.
And I'm glad somebody thought of that because Love in the Time of Cholera is one of my favorite books because Gabrielle Garcia Marquez is one of my favorite authors. And I was like, somebody should write a Love in the Time of Corona, and they sure enough did. Have you watched the whole thing? Is the whole thing out?
No, I haven't even started. I watched the interview yesterday. He did an interview locally with the TV station in Atlanta, so it's on Hulu now. I'm about to dip into it, so we can talk about it next week.
Okay, bet. Okay, so I have a question. And I should have paid attention because Just Blaze was explaining it the other day. Shouts to Just Blaze. I didn't even mean to say it that way, but there you go. That's your drop.
Just Blaze.
Just Blaze. Which is so funny because like he and I, like I've watched people do that to him. Like they'll walk past him. They won't just walk up to him and say, hey, are you? They'll walk past and then they'll do the drop.
Iconic.
And it's like, y'all are funny. But anyway, so somebody asked what's up with, we saw No ID sell his catalog about 2 weeks ago. Then last week we saw Hypnosis.
I'm gonna say it's Hypnosis, but it looks like Hypnosis.
It looks like Hypnosis. So Hypnosis songs acquired a 50% stake in the copyright and writer's share of RZA. And so I wanted you to, like in a blanket way, because we know that all of these things are not, all these deals are not going to be the same, but just kind of break that down a little bit. What's going on with these catalog deals?
Okay, so Hypnosis is a company that was started by Nile Rodgers of Chic and his longtime manager. It's London based.
Okay.
So basically, what they're doing is they're buying up song catalogs and publishing catalogs, and then they're helping to exploit those things. So if you're familiar with the way it's a fund. So if you're familiar with the way funds work, I know a lot of people know funds in real estate. So it's when a company goes and gets investors, and then they decide to target certain properties to go buy. So they did a round of funding. They went and started buying up catalogs. They bought Pooh Bear's catalog. They bought what's the petty guy? They bought the Dreams catalog at 75%. He joined the fund as an investor. They bought No IDs recently. They bought Blondie. They've bought some tremendous catalogs. And they bought No IDs catalog as well. So basically what they're going to do is they're going to exploit the copyrights on both the writing and the publishing side to make money for their investors. So it's smart. You know what I'm saying? People have been doing the catalog thing for a while, but the way they're doing it, they're like, okay, cool, we're going to raise $300 million and then go buy up 5 to 10 catalogs with that money, exploit, make money off of that, and then re-up and do it again. So it's looking kind of crazy because every week you get your music business news and they're buying up huge catalogs, crazy songs, Jonta Austin, all these things. So they're dipping into all these spaces. Rock space, they're dipping into R&B, they're dipping into hip hop, and now they got 50% of the RZAs.
They also, in recent months, have bought the catalogs of No ID, as we said, Blondie, Mark Ronson, Barry Manilow, Rodney Jerkins. So they're in there. And then one of the things that Just Blaze was saying is that some of these deals also, it's only for a certain amount of time or until the catalog yields a certain amount of money.
Right.
There's a buyback option for some of these. So, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're selling it and then you're not going to make any more money off of it at all.
No. So specifically with the Blondie deal, which they released a little bit of the details, Blondie was like, we're happy to partner with Hypnosis to export our catalog. So they're making money alongside of the company. Also, like I said, and they're doing it. So it's funny because nobody has the same deal. Everybody's got their own kind of deal. So like I said, RZA's doing 50%. The Dream did 75%, and then he bought in as on the ownership team, and he's helping like recruit people. So they're doing like these specialized deals with creators. So trust me, they're giving out bags. They got the infrastructure to make money off of these catalogs. You got great musical minds. How much money has Chic generated over the generations? First of all, shout out to Focus. We can't talk about Chic without talking about my big brother Focus, whose father is one of the baddest bass players of all time.
Co-founder of the band.
And Niles' partner, Bernard Edwards. They used to be the Big Apple Band. There's a funny story behind that too. So, Niles knows what he's doing. Y'all seen what he's done with Daft Punk and all these things. Like, he's smart, he's savvy, he understands the industry, and he wants to give opportunity to other artists. So I criticize a lot of deals, but for this, I really feel like this is something that's good for the creators. This is a great deal. In our viewpoint, where we work at, we'd have heard if there was something that was fishy or if people had an issue, and I haven't heard anything negative about any of these deals at all. Nothing.
Right. Guys, let me say this. Now that all the Zooms every afternoon at 6 p.m. are over, now that now that people are entering the second phase of this thing, which is, oh shit, this is really life now. Let's try to figure this out. Now's a great time to go back and revisit some of these Zooms that y'all signed up for. A lot of them asked you for your email. They sent you a recap afterwards. I know that Eddie Blackman, who's been doing the A&R series, he's actually started uploading those as a podcast. So you can find those on your podcast platforms. Go back and study some of these things, you guys, because the music business is not coming out of this thing the same. Like, y'all got to understand that. Y'all got to understand that, like, everything has changed. But you know what I'm saying? What they thought they knew about streaming has changed. What we thought we still have no way of knowing what performances are going to look like for real for the next 2 to 5 years. So, now's a great time to go look into all these other ways that people are doing and making money. And now's really a good time for you to, start cutting out some of these middle people.
We don't need them. And
you don't need them.
It's a perfect time right now for people that create music to get money in music. And you don't need labels. You don't need, just get you a nice little attorney to consult and read some books.
Yeah. This would be a great time for us to have a sponsor, but we do not. So we're going to say that this week the show is being brought to you by Bounce Gang Records, and it's being brought to you by oh my God, what is it? The new home of the credit check?
freemusiccredits.com.
freemusiccredits.com. It's being brought to you by Yesterday's News. In other words, it's being brought to you by me and Sis.
Yep.
Hi guys. Let's talk about music real quick. So we talked about Black entrepreneur. At some point this week, I saw something about Mariah Carey and Lauryn Hill feature, and people were really excited.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow I knew better.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and listened to it today. It's called Save the Day. And let me tell you the two things that disappoint me about that song. Number one, there's too much great protest music out there, or movement music, or whatever you want to call it. And Mariah Carey is too big of an icon for that to be her contribution to the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It felt very Kids Bop, very Disney movie, we're gonna change the world to me. Secondly, that Lauryn Hill quote unquote feature, y'all, it's a goddamn sample of Killing Me Softly by the Fugees.
Yep.
And it's upsetting me and my girlfriends. Why? Why couldn't we get a real actual feature?
Isn't this the second time recently, like, somebody was like, hey, Lauryn Hill, and it's like, nah, not really.
I think it is. It is. Somebody had a Lauryn Hill verse, and then come to find out it wasn't nothing new at all. It wasn't necessarily something that we hadn't heard before, but it definitely wasn't new.
So here's an interesting tidbit. Another thing about the 28th is it's the last day the albums and songs can get in to be considered for the 2021 Grammys.
For the what? For the Grammys?
Yep. So we might see.
Oh, because they moved that this year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we might see a bunch of shit just kind of come out that day.
Okay. What we got in terms of singles this year, this week, I want to save Big Sean for last. So B.O.B. dropped the joint called Slizzy City. I don't know why city is spelled with an S, but it is.
Cohesion, maybe.
Huh?
Cohesion, maybe.
Maybe he's a blood now. Who knows? I'm joking, guys. B.O.B.'s not in the gang.
He is. He's in the Flat Earth gang.
Flat Earth gang. There is a switch up about 3/4 of the way through the song that I enjoyed a lot. This is the Bob that I always want to get. This is the Bob that I very rarely get on albums. And I told him that once, and everybody in the room looked around and was like, gasp. And I was like, what? They're like, I met him doing Haters Everywhere We Go. This is the Bob I want.
Right. Yeah.
I want,
Travis Porter-ish type
joint with 2 Chainz. I want,
we like that B.O.B. No, we like that Travis. I love that Travis Porter-ish B.O.B.
Yes.
That Rocco-ish. That Atlanta B.O.B.
Yes,
right.
That Atlanta B.O.B. No. So Atlanta B.O.B. bike. I was really excited when I saw ASAP Ferg featuring Lil Wayne and Jay. Well, I wasn't excited about Jay Guapo because I don't know who he is, and I don't understand why you have a GWU in front of the A.
Because there had to be another Jay Guapo.
I gotta say Guapo because
you know, I mean, it's rappers. Like somebody had took it already, so he couldn't get it on Twitter.
And coming up with a different name was clearly out of the question. Couldn't do that.
Because that's his street name. So
the option was adding a letter. Well, you know what? Like, thank God for small favors. At least he didn't turn the U into a V or the A into a V. Then I would have really been confused. But anyway,
is she hating on Bounce Gang? Was that a dig? Did she just pop shots fired?
No, not at all. It was me. It was a dig at myself for being old. It was a dig at myself for being old.
We love you either way, Ty. It don't matter.
Huh?
It don't matter. Do whatever you want. We love you.
You know, having an old, unadaptable brain that just be like, I don't understand. Tory Lanez.
Nobody understands.
Very end of your career, friend. Look at that. Moment of silence for Tory Lanez's career. Fucker. Not for him though.
At all.
Fuck
that guy.
Do I need to go back and listen to this No Ceilings record again? Did I not give it? Do I need to listen to it in the car? Maybe.
No.
Or were you also disappointed?
So shout out to Axel Beats. It's a Brooklyn
drilly type situation.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Brooklyn drilly vibe. I don't know. It didn't catch me the first time.
Okay.
I think Lil Wayne just does the hook. It was cool. It didn't do it for me. But the thing was, after hearing Fivio, another song, I didn't want to hear this either, because it's like that's a lane, and I think like everybody's trying to get on that like drill lane or whatever, and this one just didn't work for me. And
by the way, I think that's why I liked Fivio on Nas's album, because it wasn't a drill beat,
right?
And it caused him to stretch himself a little bit, and he handled it well. But yeah, no, this ASAP Ferg Lil Wayne didn't do nowhere near what I thought it was going to do for my life at all. Also, this Cordae joint. Y'all know I love Cordae.
So
love Cordae.
I would say this one you might want to go back, because I know we kind of caught it at the last second.
No, the reason why it didn't work it felt like Cordae was trying a style that didn't necessarily work for him. And so he almost sounded like back in the day when New York niggas was trying to get on down south beats and they thought that meant they had to rap fast.
Yeah, I feel you. I haven't listened to it enough. I liked it when I first heard it.
Okay, now I just ruined it.
Yeah, no. Like what people need to realize is like this song literally just came out today, so this is hot off the presses. Okay. This is like, first thoughts, and sometimes you gotta live with the song. I'm probably not gonna go back to that ASAP Ferg joint. If I hear that somewhere, sometimes you hear it in a different form or something, and it goes off.
Shout out to the club, man. The club has rescued the reputation of so many songs for me.
Oh, absolutely. So, but the Cordae joint, I'm gonna definitely give it another listen.
I'll do it because you said so. What else did we have this week?
Travis Scott.
I don't have it on the list, but Tiwa Savage is getting ready to drop a new album, or just dropped a new album. Okay. She did an amazing performance on The Tonight Show. Listen, they set up an all-white box in the middle of the fucking desert. Her and her band. She has a song called, I forget what it's called. Something Love. I'm about to look it up. And she performed that, and it was so good. The performance was so dope, like the way, the visual of it. And that's what I love about Tiwa Savage. Tiwa Savage, if you watch her, there are a couple of videos, a couple points in her career where you could tell that somebody thought it might be a good idea to maybe lighten her skin or make her look like she was lighter. But Tiwa Savage is the most beautiful shade of chocolate. She's like one of those people who just is a really, really pretty girl. Like her face, her facial features are fucking amazing. And then she's super talented. And I think she brings a certain level of glam to the Afrobeat world and just glam to like the idea that people have in their minds when they think about Africa. So even the idea of them performing in the middle of a desert in Nigeria somewhere, like, and just being fly and decked out,
Hey, Niger.
super
Shout out to
dope
the
to me.
Nigerian massive.
Shouts to Oma Niger is what the folks will be saying. Um, and so the song that she performed the other day was Dangerous Love. And then she just released a joint with Sam Smith called
Big Things.
Temptation. So good. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And I'm glad that Sam Smith, is accepting his role as one of them white folks that can sing soul music and have us be receptive. Keep doing that.
Big shout out to my favorite British, African, and Caribbean comedy show, Familam. They've started season 3, folks. So for you guys who have not gotten on board, especially for my Caribbean folks and my African folks in the States, make sure y'all check out Familam season 3. Support global Black shows.
So Big Sean is dropping a new album.
Yep, Detroit 2.
Detroit 2, executive produced by Hit Boy and Kanye West. So Hit Boy is 2020 Mike Will made it.
No, Hit Boy is on fire.
He's having a moment. I'm gonna let you talk about that real quick while I feed this dog so she's ready to leave when I have to leave.
Yeah, man, Hit Boy is having quite the moment. And I mean, Hit Boy's also doing a project with Conway. So Hit Boy is delivering his sound. And you got to remember, when Hit Boy really popped off in 2012, with Niggas in Paris and that whole, good music wave, like we were like, holy shit. And shout out to Chasing Cash, man. You had the whole the Surf Crew, but you had somebody from California. He's not from LA. He's from the IE, I believe. Bringing a hip hop sound, that wasn't like just the normal West Coast sound. He's from Fontana, California originally. So, that was fire, and that was just something that was new on the scene. His sound was super him, and to have him, even after watching him battle with Boy Wonder and have them trade catalog, it's dope that people are remembering how fire Chauncey Hollis is. And if you have not, he put out a project called the Chauncey Hollis Project that came out in parts that y'all should definitely go check out because he's nice on the mic too. But Hit Boy is just fire. So like I said, man, I'm glad Hit Boy's having a moment. But Hit Boy's been that dude. He's real in the studio. He's that type of dude. So it's good to see that he's out here killing it.
And hopefully that can well, actually, no. If we take this new joint, this first single off of Big Sean's project, is called Deep Reverence, featuring Nipsey Hussle. And if this is any indication of what we have to look forward to, I'm with it.
So a lot of folks are saying this is one of their favorite Big Sean verses in a long time.
Yeah, it seems more personal than a lot of other stuff. Like it seems very centered.
So Big Sean is one of the most effortlessly talented people we have in hip hop in the last 20 years. Like, he could do anything. He could give anybody anything. He could write for anything. He can rap with anybody. A lot of people have assimilated Big Seanisms, things that were very him into their rap styles. But, he's also given us so much that we just forget how dope he is. I mean, his projects with Janae Aiko, like, the man is just, he's a Renaissance dude. You know what I'm saying? But Detroit was a moment. Detroit 2, I expect that to be a moment too. So I'm super, super, super looking forward to this. But Deep Reverence, man, just to hear Nip with some fresh music, and he sounded natural. It didn't sound forced. It didn't sound like
it didn't sound like one of them posthumous.
It didn't sound like Biggie duets, right? You know what I mean? So it sounded more like Pac, what Pac had in the stash than what they did to my man Big. So that's always a treat. Rest in peace to the late great Neighborhood Nip.
Detroit 2 comes out in 2 weeks. It comes out on September 4th. Well, not 2 weeks. Next week. It comes out on September 4th. And because I have to go get on my soccer auntie hustle, we fit to close the show out a little quicker than what we normally do. But y'all tell us, um, if you like this 1 minute, 1 hour and 10 minutes ish. If you like that better than when Sis and I just go on and on and on. Because we be having a party.
My kids like it, but we be having a good time,
We be having a good time. And honestly, I'll tell you what, like you don't even get, the full audio when you listen on we have a whole party on the live, and then, we pare it down and act civilized with y'all. So I will tell you this. Didn't get a chance to check out that Bryce Vine project. So I'm going to go back and listen to that came out last week, because I really fuck with him. And, I want us to talk about it next week. I definitely want us to, we're going to figure out a way. We're going to pull together like Voltron and go back to like actually doing chopping blocks where we actually go through track by track and talk about an album. We kind of did that with Nas today almost. And it felt good. This Friday, we've got the God Jaden Smith.
Another
he's coming out with Cool Tape Volume 3.
Brother, yes, sir.
We've got the goddess Tiwa Savage. Like I said, she is coming out with a project. It's called Celia. And that's coming out this Friday. Also, Tony Braxton is coming out with a new joint.
Madden 21 soundtrack is dropping.
And we've heard a couple joints from there, and they're pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Katy Perry with an original.
What else did I just see on here that I was excited about?
We got Katy Perry dropping. She's dropping Smile, 12 new tracks. Original.
Brent Faiyaz. I just saw his name on a list. I think Brent Faiyaz has a rap name, and so people forget that he's an R&B singer. But it's on a list. Well, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just people.
Maybe
Brent Faiyaz doesn't sound like he's gonna sing to me. Brent Faiyaz sound like he's Dylon Jr.
Well, that's that DC shit.
Spit that hot fire.
The Locks album is dropping.
The Locks album is coming out this Friday as well.
Oh, hold on. I gotta check this one. One real quick. Is this the Saigon?
Yes, I saw that somewhere else.
Saigon.
Yes, 7 tracks. It's called 777, The Resurrection.
Okay, he's got Marsha Ambrosius, Chris Calico, Clem Rashad, and Coogee Rap.
I'm gonna go ahead and bet that Marsha Ambrosius feature was produced by Just Blaze. Actually, no shit. It was produced by Street Runner. Shouts to Street Runner.
Well, I'm gonna go even further and say the Street Runner did multiples because Clem Rashad is his artist.
Okay.
So
Saigon, we will check for that. We'll check for the Locks.
Tony Braxton.
And we'll check for that, Tony.
Westside
Gunn. Also, I ain't gonna hold you after that. After the remix that we heard last week with Madonna and Missy Elliott, I'm kind of excited about this Club Future Nostalgia remix album that Dua Lipa is dropping. Yeah. I would much rather you guys give me a remix album where you remixed all 19 songs on your original than you give me some funky ass deluxe that's just the same shit but 3 extra songs or 20 extra songs. Stephen Victor. Facts. You could have just gave us a Pop Smoke album in 2021. Anyway, yeah, that's this week's show, guys. That's all I had.
For tuning in, man.
We appreciate you guys for being here. Of course, the chopping block is the audio iteration of 2 things that we do on the internet. One is the credit check, in which Sis and his trusty team, Michelangelo and young Darren, go through and put together the most comprehensive list of album credits you can find, and that now lives at
freemusiccredits.com, baby.
freemusiccredits.com. And we also do a thing called the chopping block where we do track by track reviews of projects.
Yeah, y'all can check that out at chopblockpod.com.
There you go. We have a website. It's coming soon. Hey. Guys, we appreciate you supporting us. We've been doing this. This is episode 34. And we would not still be doing this if y'all didn't give us some kind of energy for it. So thank you. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Make sure y'all follow us at Chop Block Pod or the Chop Block Pod on everything. on
Yes.
everything. Please share. Let folks know what we're doing over here. We appreciate
Yes.
y'all. We love y'all.
We love y'all.
Yeah.
Keep washing your hands, being safe, stay inside if you
Mm-hmm.
can.
Don't get shot
And
by
yeah, support Black
police.
businesses like Magic City.
Mm-hmm. I might order some wings. Well, I don't need wings, but I might order some shrimp right now.
You about to go get some shrimp right now. Day shift need love more than anybody else, honestly. Go support the day shift. Support the day shift, you guys.
Support the day. It's a great time to get in and just have some lunch, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. When I was there, 2 Chainz was there. It was Schoolie's birthday, and Iverson was there, actually. So,
it's a good time. It's a good time. All right, you guys, we will be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Well, maybe not same bat time, but definitely same bat channel. We
same
out.
bad channel.